was the new pour-over recipe that the World Brewers Cup champion uses specifically for washed coffee beans at his coffee shop. In this video, we'll share tools, techniques, and step-by-step brewing guide for you to test his simplified winning recipe at home.
It's a 16 grams to 260 milliliters, brewed in 3 steps at 90 degrees of the water. That's it.
You will also see how Martin serves and explains coffee to guests at the new Wildkaffee in Vienna. He might even convince you that the coffee can taste 2 different ways with his special cup. Are you ready? This video is sponsored by Wildkaffee Roastery.
I brew a Kenya, washed Kenya. That's actually my favorite in the morning. So washed coffees, we always brew with the cone dripper from MK. So always on the back side, we have the recipes, the temperatures, everything. So if there is a change, we change it as well and tell in a WhatsApp group the whole team that we changed recipes and the reason why we changed it. And in the morning, we double check, we brew the coffees together and recalibrate as well in the team. And sometimes we do readjustments also during the day. So the Kenya wash is actually what we call a classic filter. So we use the classic water here through the pipe. So it's the Orea water and it gets remineralized through a filter, a water filter, and this is just down here. So one pipe from the Orea goes all the way through the filter and then to the pipe. And we put it in this kettle, and the kettle is around 90 degrees. So we use the Philos from Mazzer for all our pour-over coffees. And there's a little scale here. So for this coffee we use 16 grams. And grind a bit through. And now MK. So we prepare the whole setup, and then when everything is ready, we start brewing. So we use the Sibarist paper filter for all our coffees actually. And here, we fold it, put inside. And sure, as always, rinse the paper and preheat the dripper and also the server. So now 16 grams comes inside. Now we use the needling tool, the Bloom or Nucleus, to level everything out and to lift up the shafts. So they're coming right now from the bottom to the top. And as well, we break the air pockets, so it's a consistent bed. And now the second one, we use this little device to create a hole in the middle. This is that the water is spreading to the whole coffee bed at the same time. So when I start brewing now, I first fill this hole with water, and then the water is going to the side of the whole brew. I do the whole coffee bed, and all the ground coffee is saturating the same time with the water. Okay? Before brewing, I make sure that I also reheat the gooseneck. So give some water to the side, so everything is on a perfect temperature, okay? And now the first part is 60 milliliters as the Bloom for 40 seconds. So this is our recipe actually for all the depulped and washed coffees. So we divide the recipes and the drippers of the processing of the coffee. And you need to find a system that works for every barista, for all the coffees. And we started to separate the coffees from the processing and then through the categories and the water. This is how we divide it. 40 seconds, we go straight to the middle. Center pour, then we go outside, circle pour. Back to the middle, up to 160 milliliters. Roughly around 140, we make one big circle. That the bed is consistently go through water. So this recipe is quite easy to follow, and there's just 3 steps. 60, then 160 and 260. At 1 minute 30, there comes the last brew, the last 100 milliliters. And again, we start in the middle as a center pour. Go with the circle outside, back to the inside. And now we have a constant center pour up to 240. And at 240, we slowly go outside again. So we have a constant coffee bed. The water is sitting at 90 degrees for this coffee. So every coffee has also different water temperatures. This is what we play around in the morning, but also during shifts when we have time. We try to play around, and every barista has the chance actually to play with the coffee. And if there is something new they found out, they tell us, and then we double check. And if it's confirmed, we put it in the group and we have a new recipe. So 2 minutes 30 is the whole extraction time, and then we remove the dripper. We're good to go.
Before we taste coffee and watch Martin presenting it to guests, we want to tell you about Wildkaffee. It's a specialty coffee roastery founded in 2010 by former professional athletes, Stefanie and Hardy Wild. They run their roasting space and 2 cafes in Garmisch-Partenkirchen in southern Germany. Recently, they joined forces with Martin Wölfl to bring Wildkaffee closer to their Austrian and international guests by opening a showroom and later this cafe in Vienna. Wildkaffee sources over 85% of its coffee directly from producers around the world, and if you look at the offer, you'll find a wide range of coffees starting from dark roasted options for home espresso, like the signature Vienna calling blend, all the way to unique light roasted microns from Brewers Cup series, curated by the champion. In this video, Martin brews washed light roasted Kenyan beans, one of the long list of coffees that you can easily order from the Wildkaffee website, together with the coffee equipment, tea, or even wine. Now, let's get back to tasting coffee brewed with the recipe.
So, my special customer, coffee is ready for you. So this is how we serve it. And how we usually do is, we make this, and we let the customer smell. Oh. Okay. Cool. And then we serve it. Here we go. We start with this side first, and then we move on to the next one.
So this should be more floral and more fruity?
More fruity, more floral, a bit lighter, what he like.
Now,
second sip, you turn around.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, there is a difference. And there is always in my mind is a question, so how much is it just because you told me, right? And how much is it the real? But it has a physical aspect of it, right? Like
I think it's always a combination, you know? The more you explain and the better you explain it, the more you're sensible for it. But at the end, it needs to work. So I can't tell you something that is not there.
It's true. And I really like how you described it. It just by telling people, they become more conscious about it, right? Yeah. Like even if they don't recognize it straight away, they start to think more about the flavor and taste and experience.
Exactly, and they start thinking about, oh, there are different cups or different sides, different angles, what's the difference? And this is something, they have more focus on the drink. And this is what every coffee shop loves actually, you know, that customers are focusing on the drinks. And yeah, this is a small part how we try to close the gap between competitions and daily coffee shops, you know? Because this is something we talk a lot about in competitions, but sometimes in the daily life it comes a bit too short. Sure, if it's crowded, we don't have that much time like what we have right now, but we limit it and make it a bit smaller and keep it open. If the customer have any questions, they can come back to the bar to have these conversations, you know? So for this setup with the Orea V4 and the middle drip shower, we use the anaerobics or natural coffees. So with a flat bottom, coffees turn to be more sweeter, more clean and transparent. So that's the goal we're looking for. So every natural and anaerobic is brewed with the Orea V4.
So if you are curious to learn more about this recipe, we already filmed it and you can find it on our YouTube channel.